You know what's terrifying? Horror games. But do you know what's even more terrifying? School. So why not combine the most horrifying elements in the world? Well, maybe because it will turn out as a fucking fever dream. But I would say let's start from the beginning, because what you just saw isn't even close to my original game idea. First I wanted to make just a 4-minute long short horror game which includes some challenging gameplay. But what could that be? Well, in 3 minutes with your dog you throw a frisbee. In Mr. Lupin I made the player thought, jeez, I think I'm onto something. Control C, Control V, but this time we make it a ring. Boom baby, innovative gameplay idea. Woo! Like in basically every other horror game, you as the player wake up in a dark room. Wow, so creative. The only exit being through a rusty garage door. But to open it you have to throw the ring you're holding at the goal stick thing. I didn't find an English term for that, so let's just call it Bob from now on. When the gate opens, you can walk into the next room where you basically do the same. Wow, exciting gameplay. Shut the fuck up, I wasn't done yet! But as you progress, the rooms become spookier, hitting Bob gets harder, and after some time the game's climax would then end with a goofy jump scare you would definitely not expect.
Open source.
With the basic idea done, I hopped into Blender and made my friend Bob the first room and the ring, which was very hard to do in Blender. Whew. Put it to Unity, bam! And after some texture and post-processing magic, the visuals looked like this. So with the graphics done, I knew my time had come.
Good. My time has come. What are you... What?
To be honest, I thought Mr. Lupin was a coding disaster, but I did not only spaghetti code this game, I made a whole fucking 5-course menu. Here, just choose one. I'm sure you have no idea what the fuck the 52 variables in the script are doing, and you know what? Me neither. Especially the player script is a catastrophe, and it really isn't helpful that I made 2 versions of it that are both used in my game. What the fuck was my thought process here? Anyways, back to the game where I perfectly executed the throwing mechanic. This time I added a little bit of auto aim and played around with the hitboxes to make the game easier. In case you missed, you have to press R to get the ring back. This turns off the lights for a moment, and that could lead to some scary situations. Then I made a tutorial room with a score counter. After 3 score points and being fooled, you get taken to the main world of the game. I added a little animation for the gate to open, and what the fuck are you? Once again I wanted to plant the disco dog into my game. So I ported the model into Unity and set it to position 000. Then I did a little bit of coding, and while testing my game I completely forgot that the disco dog was still behind the gate. And this right here was the moment. Let's make a session of the game where the disco dog is an actual threat to the player. So I designed another spookier disco dog with more legs, made Bob move while you're throwing because else the game would be way too easy. And after a sleepless Sunday night, I got the whole scene done. Every time you miss Bob, the disco dog gets a little bit closer. Until he completely disappears. But the next time you try to reset, I have to admit, I really like the direction the game is going. So why shouldn't I make it level-based? In each world you would then encounter a different type of enemy you have to beat. Grab that giant baby head, let's go! I have no idea why, but I always wanted to make a game with a baby face monster thing. So here I am. But when I got the head done, I felt like something's missing. Let's just try to put a gradation head on top. Perfection! Wait, I could make a school game, but then I would need more teachers. Of course we need a normal classroom for one level, but who could teach there? A giant stick of chalk, call her Mrs. Chalk. Very creative name, I'm aware. But trust me, Mrs. Chalk is pure evil. Why? Well, after entering the room she asks you questions about math. Has to be Satan, right? Also, I just realized I might have saw that somewhere before. Over the time the questions get weird, and to answer them you simply look at your surrounding. For example, do books read us when we're not looking? Well, I'm not sure, why should they do that? Who the fuck are you? But suddenly the lesson takes a dark turn. In other words, she kills your dog multiple times by the way, but that's for later. And in case you fuck up, I made a little jump scare. After you admitted that you stand no chance against her, Mrs. Chalk is happy with you and you're able to enter the next room, where we can find the disco dog. But we already know that one, so let's skip this and work on the intro of the game. I first tried to make the 3D objects myself, Then I realized that I really suck at designing buildings, so I took inspiration from a free package in the Unity asset store and oh wow, look, it suddenly looks good. You play as a young student who is afraid of the first day at a new school. But this time there's actually something to be even more afraid of than wasting your precious time that could have been spent reaching Challenger rank in League of Legends. I also added Surreal, the class representative, who is so nice to introduce you to the rules. In other words, he's the tutorial guy. So we have an intro, 3 levels. I believe it may be time for an ending. Or we just do another level so I can finally use the giant baby heads in a very hard boss fight where Bob moves like an asshole and your arrows move fast as fuck, boy. To see if you are a worthy student, the principal set up a little exam for you. And this end section is actually very similar to my original game idea, because every time you score, who are you? Originally this guy was meant to be a cookie, but since I forgot to fix the UV mapping, which means that his textures got stretched, I decided to make him a giant sausage. What the fuck was my thought process here?
You can always hold Q to turn around. Why would I need to turn around?
I can tell you why, because otherwise you couldn't see the giant baby coming closer and closer. To escape the principal constantly hunting you down the corridor, you have to run forward, but you can only do that when you score. Not hard enough? Alright then, let's make Bob move while you're aiming. What was that? Still not hard enough? Okay, sure, then let's just rotate your perspective every time you miss. Yeah, my playtesters thought that this level is bullshit, so I made the baby slower. Which makes it actually playable, so you can experience the ending. Really? It was just a dream. Oh my god, how lazy!
Doggy. Good ending. A dream? A nightmare. You escaped and your dog is still alive. Thank goodness a piece of chalk didn't shoot it. Lovely.
If you want to try the game yourself, you can find it on itch.io. And oh look, this stifle fellow is telling you to subscribe. We don't want to disappoint him, right? Stay tuned for more, have a great day, and don't forget to pet the capybara.